Welcome to my dad's car. Enjoy!
Welcome to My Dad's Car, a podcast discussing our personal relationship with automotive nostalgia. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be about your dad's car. It can be your mum's, your grand's, your parents', guardians, or even a neighbour's. If it made an impression, let's talk about it.
Hello, sir.
You right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Cool. How you doing, Mike?
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
I can't hear you guys, though.
Ah, that's a problem. Going to make this podcasting like a little bit tricky.
Testing 1, 2. There we go. I should have you now.
Hey, it works.
How are you guys? You all right?
Yeah, we're good, thank you.
Good, thanks, yeah.
And yourself? You well?
Yeah, not too bad. The sun's shining in Henfield, just about.
Yeah, welcome along, Mike. We try and put a little bit of background, don't we, John, to kind of each one.
Yeah.
I think you're friends with Lydia, who came on last season, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we met through the DJ and debaucherous scene in Brighton.
So yeah, she came on. She was very well behaved. No one can believe that she didn't swear, which was great. It kind of
I couldn't believe it either.
And that wasn't an edit. That was real. That she managed to should not swear for 45 minutes or something.
She did great.
So yeah, you made a post about something about your father's car, and
That's right. Yeah.
Lydia tagged us in it, and we kind of got talking, and we were like, "This sounds like a great opportunity for a discussion." So
Exactly that. Yeah. It's all starting with my father's baby blue Volkswagen variant.
Fantastic. So we start with the earliest car memory? Is this the one?
Yeah, this is my earliest car memory.
This is where it begins.
This is where it all begins for me. Yeah, he was a carpet fitter at the time by trade.
Okay.
I'm between the age of 2 and 4. These memories.
Okay.
And I always used to go out the back of the house because he used to pull the car at the back of the alleyway. And when he got home from work, and he'd let me jump in the seat and sit on his lap and the steering wheel. I sent you a picture of the steering wheel because I remember that vividly, like feeling massive because I was so tiny. And that's just my earliest car memory.
Nice.
I don't remember going out and driving around in it as much. Although I do remember when I was a bit older, maybe 4 or 5, and he still had it, getting in it in the summertime because it had these black fake leather seats.
Yeah.
And because we didn't have any aircon or anything like that in those days, and the glass was also a lot thicker. My God, did those seats burn your legs? It was a health and safety hazard.
Absolutely.
Generate a bit of a smell with them as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but a beautiful car, a beautiful looking car from the outside with the headlights and the curved body it had and the colour.
Yeah, absolutely. Was he a VW man through and through, or was it just he just happened to have it?
So yeah, the next car I remember him having was a 1960s dark blue Volkswagen Beetle. Okay. And my earliest childhood memories of me and my dad are sitting there watching Herbie.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, he was obviously a bit of a fan.
Yeah. Whereabouts did you grow up?
In Lancing and Shoreham.
Okay. Oh, local.
So Lancing till I was 11 and then moved to Shoreham Beach when I was 11 years old, yeah. So these memories so far, this is all before I was 11 years old, those 2 cars.
Yeah.
And again, I remember sitting in the Beetle and pretending I was driving it, pretending I was in Herbie Goes Bananas and that kind of stuff.
And was your dad using his variant for work?
Yeah, for the carpet fitting. Yeah, I remember that the whole back of it had his old carpet bag that he made out of carpet to put all his tools in, proper like old school. And yeah, it was just a bit of a wreck really in the back. But that was also our family car. We were also being shipped around in that, and there was there's me and got 2 other brothers and an older sister.
Okay.
And they were much older than me. There's a 10-year age gap between me and my next oldest brother. And then 12 years and 14 years. So, they were all teenagers when we were in that car and we were getting driven around up to my nan's house, piled in with all the carpet tools and everything. And
Nice. You definitely need the space of all those siblings.
Yeah.
Have you got any sort of memorable journeys, Mike, that you used to take, maybe on like your annual holidays, that sort of thing?
Sadly not. No. By the time I'd come along, my parents had had enough of that kind of stuff. And there wasn't that many family holidays and stuff going on. I was kind of left to my own devices as a little kid.
Nice. And where was your dad getting these cars? Do you remember?
I don't remember. No, as I say, these are very early memories. if we want to talk about any journeys in any of the family's car, then I guess next we would move to when I'm sort of 14, 15, and one of our mates who was old enough to drive, the older lad who had the car, we thought it would be a good idea to see if my dad would lend us his Toyota Space Cruiser to drive to Cornwall for our first ever like boys trip to Cornwall on our own without parents. And I managed to talk him into the idea.
Wow.
And he said, right, okay, what I'm going to do is we'll go outside.
Yeah.
My mate was called Skins was his nickname. Daniel Salmon was his actual name, this ginger lad. And he said, okay, if I can watch Daniel reverse the car out and drive it up to the roundabout and back again, and I think he looks safe, I'll think about it.
Oh, okay.
So we get in, and there's another couple of my mates there. They're all in the back. They're starting to play with the moonroof already. You know, they're like, oh, mate, this is going to be wicked. You know, it's like in-betweeners scene. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my dad's just stood there like that at the front. Daniel gets in, starts up the engine, looks at the gear stick, doesn't see what he's doing, puts it into forward instead of reverse. And we need to go out of the driveway and goes towards my dad and the house.
Oh, no.
And my dad just goes like that, stop, comes in, takes the keys, like, you're not going nowhere. And that was it. We were like, no, Skins, what have you done? You've ruined the dream. So we ended up going in his Mini. 6 of us.
Oh, jeez. That's a bit of a compromise on space, isn't it, from the Space Cruiser?
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Fantastic. So when you were in the car, did your parents smoke? Did they have the radio on? Any kind of memories of that?
Yeah, they did both smoke. So I remember ashtrays in the car. Do you remember the old like half ones that you used to push and they used to come round?
Oh, spun round, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've got memories of that.
Nice. Real parents.
Yeah. Proper 80s parents. Yeah, like, you know. We should talk about the bubble car, I suppose, because that's a very early memory as well. Actually, this is going back before the Space Cruiser, and so the Trojan, I think, is the brand.
Okay.
I don't know how many listeners out there know about these things, but they were kind of a craze. I think they started in the 60s.
Yeah.
And yeah, just very strange looking cars. There were 2 wheels at the front, 1 at the back.
Yeah.
And the front of it, you got in, like the whole front opened up. So it's like, to me as a little kid, it felt like I was in Morecambe or something. And I just remember it was in our garage for a long time, and oldest brother was trying to get it fixed up. And I would go in there with my mates and we'd play in there and pretend we were in a spaceship and all this kind of stuff. And like the picture I sent you of the inside of it, I remember that clearly, like not being able to even reach the pedals because I was that little.
Yeah.
And when I was little, I remember it vanished. It got stolen.
Okay.
I just remember it vanishing when I was little. I've later found out that there was a bit of a to do between my brothers, let's say that. And my next oldest brother had arranged for it to be taken.
So it belonged to one of the brothers, did it, the car?
My oldest brother, yeah.
Okay.
And the other brother was the one that arranged for it to be taken away.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, so we never saw it after that. They never saw it into completion.
Yeah.
When did it arrive? Do you remember? Was it like 70s or something like that, or just like an old thing your dad picked up one day?
I'm going to have been about 4 years old, so it was 1981.
Okay.
So I don't remember how they got hold of it, where it came from, or anything like that. I just remember playing in it in the garage, really.
Maybe it was an ex-work van for your father when he specialised in downstairs toilets and understairs cupboards.
It was definitely one of the most fun cars I can remember.
Yeah. So it was on the road. You did remember going in it? Or on the road, or
not actually on the road? No.
Oh, okay.
No, but just being a kid and being able to play in it, thinking it was a spaceship, it was great. You know, my mates all thought it was great as well. It just looked like pretty alien to all the other cars that kids had normally around. We didn't see many of them about.
What did they run on? Were they like 50 cc's or something like that? Some sort of...
Yeah, I think it's like a little motorbike engine, literally. Yeah, really tiny.
Yeah, but I imagine they weigh nothing. So like,
no.
If
you got in a tight spot, you could just pick it up, couldn't you, and sort of wheel it around like a sort of shopping trolley.
But this was the weird thing. They were kind of like teardrop shaped, so they were very bulbous at the front and one wheel at the back. So I'm guessing like when you're steering the back wheel around, so you've got that leverage from the front, if that makes sense. A bit like a fishtail kind of thing, I'd imagine. I don't know.
I think the front steers. I think, but I might be wrong.
Did they? I don't know.
I think, but
yeah. Sadly, we never got to see it in action. So
yeah. What a gem. That's the first bubble car on the show.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get more, because I think that they're a fascinating thing.
First bubble car, but not the first carpet fitter mention we've had, is it?
Oh, really?
Oh, no, that's true. Yeah, they have come up
Yeah.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
Generally in vans, though, rather than Type 3 variants. But
Yeah. My dad had the Volkswagens, then he had the Space Cruiser, and then
did he use that for work too, the Space Cruiser? Was that doubled up?
he did, yeah, but he had a carpet shop at this point, so he wasn't doing so much of the fitting.
Ah,
That was more just to ship us around and ship the boys to football and stuff like that.
Okay.
yeah. I went to school with a kid who his dad had a carpet shop, actually. I remember kind of going there, I guess at weekends or kind of after school or something, and kind of having fights with the big poles that were down the middle
Yeah.
like the big, like ginormous toilet roll
That's
tubes,
right.
which are like 6 foot long, 8 foot long, and you kind of almost playing gladiators with them, just whacking them.
And my dad owned wall-to-wall carpets in Lancing, the one by the railway station.
Okay.
So it's the old cinema building, the old Luxor building.
Yeah.
So you had the showroom downstairs, but then when you went upstairs, that was their storeroom, and that's exactly what that was filled with, all these like empty tubes and the underlays and the spare carpet rolls and stuff. And after school, I used to go down with my mates, sponge a couple of quid off the old man for some sweets and go up there and play about until we finish work and get a lift home.
Nice. We might have to start up a My Dad's Carpet shop, mightn't we, Andy, or something like that?
That's another one to consider, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. Another car I remember from my childhood before that was my brother Tim's car. His first car was a Mark I Escort Mexico, I believe it was.
Oh, awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like a orangey red color with a white stripe down the side, and he had the horn that went da, 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 da. He loved it. But he only lasted about a year in that before he got into trouble driving and lost his license for a little while. So
No.
Whoops.
I was going to say that would be a nice one to keep hold of, wouldn't it, the Mexico?
it was I remember that being the first kind of car that I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Any other cars down your street you kind of had eyes for?
There was a guy at the end of the road that had a Porsche 944. Always thought that was cool.
Great choice.
It was a brown one as well.
Oh, nice.
But my mum had a couple of cool cars.
Okay.
She had an MG BGT, a bright yellow one.
Oh, nice.
And the license plate was something cab. And she used to joke about how she was a taxi service for the kids. Actually, she didn't do much of the driving. It was almost my dad doing the driving. And she also had a really dodgy brown Capri.
I think all the brown stuff, though, is aged well, isn't it? Do you not think? Obviously, like back in the day, it's probably a bit controversial, but now I think,
Yeah.
Come back round.
yeah.
I just remember as a kid not liking it because it had brown and orange interior as well, and it reminded me of my school's curtains. So that was my reason for not liking that car.
What was dodgy about the Capri? Anything in particular, or just
The brownness of it, and it was those two-tone ones where the roof was made to look like fake leather or something like it.
Vinyl, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a really horrible caramel brown color, dark brown Capri caramel roof. It was just like, ooh.
What was the thinking behind the vinyl roof? Is there like a reason for it? Or was it just literally a style?
I think it's a styling. I guess it makes it look a little bit like a soft top with the roof up from a distance.
Yeah.
My dad used to fit them.
Wow.
Yeah, he did kind of a fair trade in vinyl roofs in like the 80s.
Yeah.
But I presume that's what it's for.
To match the dodgy leather jackets of the time, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
Professionals.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So is your dad still around, Mike? Is he still...
He's not, sadly. No, he passed in 94, a long time ago.
Okay.
29 years ago, yeah.
Okay, fair while ago.
Yeah.
Was he still driving right up until the end? How did his car life go, as it were?
Yeah, no, it went downhill, really. Sadly, he had the Space Cruiser, and then just because he wasn't carpet fitting anymore in his last year, he was unwell for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
He had a problem with his leg. He had to get an automatic, and he got a Rover. I can't even remember what kind of Rover it was, but it was just kind of a bland car.
That's most of them.
Yeah, to be fair. It was newer. It was one of the newer cars he'd ever had. But yeah, his dream was always to have a Bentley.
Okay.
But my mum said that he had Rolls Royce ideas and a push bike income. So
Very good.
But I do know that me and my brother Tim, our love for Volkswagens came from our memories of the Volkswagens when we were growing up as kids. My brother Tim bought a VW bus crew cab project.
Oh, nice.
We had on our driveway for a while, which he actually never got finished. But we always both wanted a Beetle or a camper. And hung around with other lads that had Beetles and campers and surfed and that kind of thing. Went to Bug Jam and all of that.
Yeah.
That love and connection for VW definitely comes through from our father.
So have you bought a Beetle or a camper van?
I haven't yet. I plan to. I want a 52 Blitz Samba, please. That's what I want. Or a Carmen Gear. I'd love a VW Carmen Gear one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it hasn't happened yet. But it's on the cards.
What about your brother? Has he got a VW?
No, he had the crew cab for a while. But then we both went away traveling for years. 6 months after my father passed, we went away to New Zealand for 3 months, then on to New Australia for 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Then I came home for a little bit, and then I lived in Canada for 2.5 years. And then we both worked in Mallorca and Andorra for 3 years together, where he was a holiday rep and I was a DJ. So in that time when we were traveling, it was Jeeps, mopeds. When we were in New Zealand, actually, that was our biggest road trip. So I'm 17 at the time. My brother's 10 years old, he's 27, and just lost our father, get sent to the other side of the world to kind of get away. And it was a Toyota Hi-Ace, this white van that we bought for like $2,000 to drive around the whole of the North Island of New Zealand. It had no carpet in the back, so the petrol fumes just came through.
Blimey.
So if you were sat in the front you could still smell it in the front, but if you were in poor guy lying down in the back, it was like every 20 minutes, you're like, please pull over, I need to get out, especially in the heat. The heat and the gasoline in the background, it was not great. But it did get us around the whole island. It did it. Bong on Bertie bus tour. 1994. We had it all painted on the side.
Nice. I spent some time in New Zealand about 10 years ago, and I think they had a thing called Rent a Dent, where you could just rent bangers, basically. Yeah.
It's probably a very similar kind of setup. When we went to the first town, we did our first work, and we went on a kiwi farm. We did some fruit picking, saved up some money. We're like, right, we've got enough money to get to our next destination, and go out, jump in the bus, heading up the road. Someone comes past, chip pop off the road, smashes our front windscreen.
Oh, no way.
And obviously had to go and pay to get a windscreen put in this old van. They're like, it's worth more than the van. And we had to do another week's work and save up the money before we could head off again. Went back, can we have our job back?
You should have just ripped it all out, Mike. Would have been good ventilation for all those petrol fumes, wouldn't it?
It was a rough ride, but yeah, we had a lot of love for Bertie Bus.
So do you recall any of the vehicles being sold, or did they just disappear mysteriously in the night, or
No, I don't really remember. Don't remember when he changed cars or anything like that. Obviously the bubble car did just vanish.
Is there any cars that your parents had, or anyone had really, that you sort of think, oh, I'd love to own one of those now or in the future?
Oh, the Variant, 100%.
The Variant, okay.
Yeah, it would be that, and I'd pimp it up a bit.
don't fancy a bubble car?
No, I don't really fancy a bubble car, funnily enough. No.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and thanks for telling us about your dad's cars.
No worries.
I've got a soft spot for bubble cars. I don't think I'd want one, but just kind of the ridiculously of them just makes them kind of charming.
Yeah, they are quirky. You just don't. I haven't seen one on the road ever, I don't think.
No, I don't think I have.
I think I might have seen one at the Shoreham Ada Rec.
Oh, like a car show or something?
Yeah, one time I saw one there, but other than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like gold dust. So if you do spot one.
Yeah, what colour was yours, just in case it's the same one?
I think they were all in standard Trojan colour, which was this dark, deep red colour.
Oh, okay.
But you never know.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out.
I remember my mum used to watch Heartbeat, and there was a lady in that had one.
Oh, was there?
Yeah. I think she ran the pub. That's my sort of memory of bubble cars. But that's another thing that's not really come back round at all, is it, the bubble car?
No, not yet.
I doubt it will either.
Nah.
I guess the smart car's probably as close as they got to it.
Yeah.
Similar sort of concept, but yeah, potentially you're not going to die if you run over a stick in the road.
Slightly safer, yeah.
Yeah. You'd end up tipping over, wouldn't you? Just rolling down the road like some sort of bowling ball. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much, Mike.
No worries. It's been a pleasure talking to you both.
Thanks, Mike. Nice to meet you.
There we go. That was short and sweet, wasn't it?
It was a short one, yeah.
We should probably say, actually, so thanks to Rob, who was on a couple of episodes ago, it will be now. He bought us a bunch of coffees, didn't he, after he came on? So that was very kind of him.
He did, yeah. He bought us, well, probably 5 coffees in London and
yeah,
a fair few more down south. But no, it's really kind of him. So, yeah, thanks to Rob.
That was good. And yeah, that episode's been doing really well. So yeah, that's great. He said like a few of those listens might be his mum. So we'll take them with a pinch of salt. But so, yeah, glad they're enjoying it too, his parents. So
the elderly forgetting that they've listened to it, so they listen to it again and again.
That's what we need, yeah. Any Alzheimer's sufferers, just subscribe, yeah.
We should start targeting nursing homes, shouldn't we? Do like a tour of nursing homes in the country, get them downloading.
I'm sure they'll be well up for it. Like, yeah, we'll go in, we'll offer a number of services, kind of a rendition of Bluebirds Over the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah.
Podcast. We'll tie that in with the aforementioned funeral policies that we were chatting about. I'm going to do that as a separate episode, actually. But yeah, that will kind of all go together. Car insurance, funerals, nursing home visits.
Yeah. Well, I've got you.
So, yeah, thank you very much, John. Been a pleasure.
No worries. It's a wrap.
Roll the credits.
Thanks for listening to My Dad's Car Podcast. If you have enjoyed this episode, please click subscribe, leave us a review and follow us on social media. If you'd like to support us further, you can buy us a coffee or sign up to give us a monthly bump start. You'll find details on our website, mydadscar.co.uk. Bye for now.